Finland's countryside remains rustic, almost untouched by modernization. The 1999 World Figure Skating Championships have come to this winter wonderland. In pairs, Russia's Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharulidze are hoping to regain the confidence that led them to the world title in 1998. They'll be challenged by Shen and Hongbo Zhao, who are trying to win the first world championship in China's history. And from the U.S., the sister-brother team of Danielle and Steve Hartsell skate in their first senior world competition. The master thespians of ice dance, the reigning world champions Krylova and Ovsyannikov, start defense of their title tonight. They'll continue their rivalry with the fiery French team of Anasina and Pezera. Also, the U.S. ice dancing champions Naomi Lang and Peter Chernyshev, and Michelle Kwan skates for her third world title as the ladies' short program begins tonight from Helsinki, Finland. Helsinki, Finland, the capital of one of the world's northernmost countries. Snow and ice shape most of the landscape here. And winter sports are an essential part of the Finnish culture and Finnish pride. And we welcome you inside Hartwall Arena for our continuing coverage of the 1999 World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard, along with Peggy, Fleming, Dick Button, and Leslie Visser. I'm Terry Gannon. Tonight, we'll see the pairs, ice dancers, and ladies begin their quest for gold medals, part of our 13.5 hours of coverage this week on ESPN2 and ABC Sports. And it's the pairs' short program, which is about set to get underway. And stepping on the ice first will be the two-time German national champions, 27-year-old Peggy Schwarz and 24-year-old Mirko Müller. This short program worth 1/3 of the overall score. It lasts 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Ilman ensimmäisenä luistelevat First Saints are Peggy Schwarz, Mirko Müller, Saksa, Tikhonov.
The bronze medalist from the '98 World Championships. Not quite the same success so far this year, though. They finished 4th at the European Championships in Prague.
And there's kind of a flashy excitement about this couple. They give a lot of energy to their programs.
And the music, PM Undercover, Roto Sounds.
This is music, by the way, composed for them. The PM stands for Peggy and Mirko.
She missed that side-by-side triple toe loop. That'll cost them. And now coming up is a throw triple Salchow, taking off from the back inside edge. She was touching down with her foot of her free leg on that takeoff, sort of helps secure her in the rotations up in the air so she goes up straight. Clever spiral sequence they're doing there with the choreography.
Inside back death spiral. Very nice arch as she descends into that rotation.
Very nice. Only like one mistake in that triple toe loop on her part. But otherwise, a pretty nice performance.
But it hasn't been the kind of season they've wanted so far, but trying to make up for it. One reason, Peggy's had a pulled groin, and we've seen that with Alexei Urmanov, Elvis Stoichko. That's a very serious injury in figure skating.
And here was the mistake on the side-by-side triple toe loops. She just didn't get a good toe pick on that triple, so it didn't give her that lift and spring she needed to complete the turns.
And that'll be a mandatory 0.3 deduction.
And that was the nice triple Salchow, throw triple Salchow that they did. She had a little falter on that landing.
Now, there'll be two sets of marks, of course. The first four required elements, the second for presentation. Remember, the short program worth 1/3 of the overall score, and the required element marks 4.9 to 5.2. Of course, it does not help to be the first ones on the ice. The judges always leaving room for presentation in the 5.3 to 5.4 range. Coming up next, Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharulidze of Russia. The reigning world champions begin to defend their title next. The 1999 World Figure Skating Championships. Welcome back, everyone, to Helsinki, Finland, and a look at Hartwall Arena, the site this week of the 1999 World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. Hi again, everybody. I'm Terry Gannon, along with Dick Button and Peggy Fleming. The pair short program underway here, and taking the ice next, the reigning world champions, Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharulidze of Russia. But Peggy, as of late, they have skated like anything but world champs. They've struggled. Only one loss this season, but it came 2 weeks ago in their hometown of St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yes, that's true, Terry. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk for them to come in here and defend their world title, but that might not be the case. I mean, they are the most beautiful pair team around today, and their weakness is really the mental game. But it really comes down to, you know, it's tougher defending the title than winning one.
What do you do now? If you're an athlete, you know you have the talent, it hasn't been going well. What can they do coming into this?
Well, they do have an advantage of working with the legendary coach Tamara Moskvina. I mean, she has a history of pulling out that mental toughness out of her teams. But she's not only a coach. She's almost like a sports psychologist when she's working with her skaters. But, you know, a coach can only do so much. And it ultimately comes down to the skaters themselves.
We'll see if it begins to turn around in just a moment. But, Dick, you've got a number of other pairs who can go for the goal. This thing's wide open after Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze if they do falter, including one that's been red hot, Shen and Zhao of China.
Well, you know, they're really tough people. I've got to tell you, they are not a pair that will allow self-doubt to get in their way. I mean, not for them will there be any emotional insecurities or worrying about the greater meaning of life. I mean, they're a young pair that they're machine-like, they're strong, they're powerful, and they're going to bulldoze their way to the top if they possibly can.
Is this the start of a Chinese juggernaut, maybe?
Oh, I think it's well into the middle of it. I mean, look at the same way that the Russians have become such a dominant force in figure skating in the past 20 years. The Chinese are well on their way to it now, along with the Japanese and the Australians. It's a very powerful force.
And here's a look right now at the 8 required elements here in the pairs short program. Points will be deducted for failures to complete any of these. It lasts 2 minutes and 40 seconds overall, and it's worth 1/3 of the total score for the skaters. So we begin to see right now whether Tamara Moskvina can lead the reigning world champions back to the form that allowed them to capture every competition in which they skated since the '98 Olympics. But that experience in St. Petersburg a couple of weeks ago has got to loom large on their minds. Here are Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharulidze.
Well, the elegance and the power of this couple is wonderful. But the question is, will they be consistent in this short program? We'll have to wait and see. And they're opening with a side-by-side triple toe loop. Nicely done. Good unison, good speed on that landing. This is a spectacular lift. The double twist, almost a delay. Beautiful.
There's one thing to notice in this program, and that is their fleetness, the speed over the ice, the speed they have coming out of jumps and lifts, as fast as they are going into it. That shows they're right at top form.
Beautiful positions in these side-by-side spins. Good extension.
Lasso lift, that means two-handed lifting. Oh. That almost looked like a slop there at the end, didn't it?
Almost.
An up and down turn, but it wasn't. That was just the impression. I think it was probably just a fine lift.
These moves very typical of their coach, Tamara Masvina. Very inventive moves.
Not terribly attractive, but spectacular. Like that spin, I don't think is up to their level of elegance.
Well, they skated very well.
Beautifully fleet. The edging is just magnificent. Their speed, their security. They're right back at top form as they were earlier this year.
Well, this has got to give them a lot of confidence.
Well, whatever happened at the Grand Prix final, it certainly didn't happen here in Helsinki tonight. A great start for the world champions, Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze. And whatever they worked on in practice the last couple of weeks has worked as well.
Now look at this double twist. She toe picks, splits her legs, very easy. That is not a difficult move, but it's done beautifully. And this throw triple salchow, always dangerous. But look at this, the distance, the tightness, and the speed that she has coming out of it. That's the important part. Such a security. That's amazing. And in this last lift, we'll see how this went. I'm not sure. Right there, he has her pressed up. Now watch him switch to one hand, and it's almost there as though she's missing. Very, very sort of difficult to judge that.
5-7, 5-8, 5-7, 5-7.
Well, we've mentioned St. Petersburg a number of times already. It's less than 200 miles from here, and Elena's mother is in attendance. Anton's parents are here watching them skate in Helsinki.
5-9.
First set of marks for required element stick.
Well, now, if you look at that, those marks are not quite as high as they should be. I suspect because of that bobble at the end and also because of the kind of sloppiness on the spin at the very end.
And for presentation, 5-8s, 5-9s, obviously. Berezhnaya, Sikharulidze set the standard.
And they are very high and very nice.
And coming up next, the brother-sister team of Danielle and Steve Hartsell, the U.S. champions.
This is a move they invented, the heart attack lift. She practically does a handstand. Gives her parents a little heart attack on the side, too.
It was an emotional and somewhat unexpected victory at the U.S. Nationals.
I don't think that neither one of us expected it. And, you know, our main focus was always making the world team. And then just winning was like kind of a big shock. So now it's just starting to set in. Everyone's beginning to notice us.
Yeah, it seems like our lives have changed overnight almost since we won the national championships.
And continues now at Hartwell Arena with the newly crowned U.S. champions, Danielle and Steve Hartsell, their first trip to the Senior World Championships.
Well, I hope that confidence of winning that national championship continues for them in this short program.
That'll be a mandatory deduction of at least 0.4 of a point.
triple Salchow. She really held on to that landing. It was a little bit shaky.
You see how much better a spin that was than Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze in positions. And Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze are far more elegant to pair, but this was a better pair spin. There's a security about them and sort of a confidence that's come along. I think that's very nice to see.
These kind of moves are a little bit awkward. Their spiral sequence, one of the required elements.
Ah, that's nice with the back inside that spiral with his foot, her foot on his. That was a very nice move leading into this back inside death spiral. Well, I've got to tell you, despite the fall, that was a very nice program. This couple has come a long way. I must say I'm impressed by them. I think that they've improved themselves dramatically this year. And this was a very confident, very strong program. I'm very pleased for them.
Well, I think the choice of music and the choreography really helped bring out their style.
A lot of Americans here in Helsinki as well to watch. The junior world champions from 1997. First trip to the Senior Worlds. Danielle and Steve Hartsell, the brother-sister team from Westland, Michigan.
This was the disaster that started their program, the side-by-side triple toe loops. They both got up in the air, did their triples, and almost landed it, and both fell on the landings. Very unfortunate beginning. But this was one of the nice moments of their routine. A real nice stretch line to this, and a good blend into the next move, which was a back inside death spiral. Very nice stretch, long line. Very nicely done.
Required elements. 4-3, 4-4.
A lot of composure, though, after the early mistake to bring it back together. Now, the two sets of marks. Required elements, 4.3 to 5.0.
Presentation.
Danielle, a senior in high school. Steve at Oakland University right now. And the second set of marks for presentation, 4.8 to 5.4. And that places them behind Schwarz and Müller of Germany in third place in terms of those that have skated. And stepping on the ice from Russia, Tatiana, Totmianina, and Maxim Marinin. Both from St. Petersburg. And as we've mentioned, not far from here, less than 200 miles as the crow flies. She is only 17 years old, and Maxim 22 years of age.
And in the next 2.5 minutes, we're not only going to hear the Grand Canyon Suite, but also little Mendelssohn violin concerto. Good combination for 2.5 minutes. One thing you note about Russian pairs is they all have great speed. That goes back to the days of Irina Rodnina and Alexander Zaitsev. This is a press lasso lift. 2 hands.
And now coming up is their throw triple loop from a back outside edge.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice, really tight in the air.
descent into that death spiral, not a very good one, but the rest of their skating is elegant, wonderful lines.
And there was a real calmness about their skating and their overall performance in this short program. They did all the elements. Skated really well.
Well, they finished third at the Russian Nationals, and that's saying a lot. Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze were the winners. They're the world champions. Petrova and Tikhonov came in second, and they're the European champions. Tatiana, Totmianina, and Maxim Marinin.
Now, look at these very difficult triple toe loops. And look at her in particular, that wonderful landing edge. His is excellent also. Very difficult jumps, and they do them with great ease and lightness. And in this throw triple jump, right here, this loop, look at the landing that she achieves. Solid. Now watch this position right there. That is nice.
5-4. 5-4.
And now the scores for the young Russian pair.
5-0, 5-2.
And the first set of marks, 5.0 up to 5.4.
5-3.
And the second set of marks for presentation,
5-5.
a little bit better.
5-3.
5-3 to 5-5, the range. Tatiana, Totmianina, and Maxim Marinin.
5-3. Thank you.
When we come back, Shen and Hongbo Zhao. They burst onto the international stage this season. Now they're trying to be the first Chinese pair to medal at the World Championships. They'll take the ice next. Welcome back to Helsinki, Finland, and our coverage of the 1999 World Figure Skating Championships, presented by MasterCard. Your top three right now here in the pairs short program. Two Russians at the top. Berezhnaya, Sikharulidze, and then Totmianina and Marinin, and then Schwarz and Müller of Germany. But stepping on the ice right now, the pair that's been red hot this season, Shen and Hongbo Zhao of China. They won Skate Canada, the Asian title, the Four Continents competition, and the Grand Prix final.
And look at the crispness they had in that first move, the speed and the just the zing to it.
They're very striking on the ice. And they are opening with side-by-side triple toe loops. Beautiful unison. Just floated over the air. Beautiful double twist.
Certainly not intimidated by Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze. They just defeated them a couple of weeks ago. Trying to become the first pair from China ever to medal at the World Championships.
Did you notice how he lifted her up into that? That's why it's called a lasso lift. It's almost as though he's lassoing. Throw jump that they've taken is a throw triple loop, and that lean on the landing, that inability to control the landing, I think will be very disastrous for them in this short program, in the marking in comparison to Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze,
who were very clean.
Very exciting to watch.
That was really interesting to see. They were brilliant at the beginning. Such tightness, such presentation, such control. And then as it got to the end, it just seemed to fall apart a little bit into, not make it quite so builds to such a climax.
All they're trying to do, though, obviously being in a position to win after this short program.
And this was their beautiful double twist. It floated in the air. Very easy, very airy. Nice opening. And now this lasso lift where he wraps her around and up they go with this extension. Nice flow over the ice and nice smooth transitions. Good positions, very easily done. And now their final throw triple loop where they had the problems. She got good height in the air, but she kind of anticipated that landing and fell forward and touched her hands down. That'll be a big deduction.
You want to be in the top 3 heading into the free skate, which, by the way, is Saturday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern on ABC Sports, 3:30 Pacific. That's when you can catch it. The first set of marks for Shen and Hongbo Zhao, 5.4 to 5.7. And now the second set, Dick, 5.6 to 5.8, and it puts them right behind Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze. They're in second place. The French team, Sarah Abitbol and Stéphane Bernadis, on the verge of breaking into the world's top echelon of skaters. They're on the ice next. Back in the Hartsell Arena, Helsinki, Finland. Sarah Abitbol, Stéphane Bernadis, the 6-time French national champion, stepping on the ice here in the pairs short program. The bronze medalist from the European Championships for the 3rd time recently in Prague.
And you'll see quite a different style here. Much rougher.
Well, their energy and their throw lifts are their strongest elements. They're opening with a double twist. Nice spring to that. Good tight turns in the air. And now this is one of their strongest moves that they do, is this throw triple loop. She says she lands it all the time. Oops, but not tonight.
Maybe not all the time.
That was excellent timing, Peggy.
Right.
Wonderful timing.
The
That's
kiss
what
of
she
death.
said.
Peggy Fleming.
Side-by-side triple toe loops. Positions are not as good as they could be. They're a little bit almost scruffy or coarse in comparison to either Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze or Shen and Zhao. Somewhat better style and position than he does. I
think they're trying for a real polished quality by accentuating the music with real sharp moves. But I think they come off just a little stiff.
That's a very poor descent into that death spiral. But there's that very roughness, that very energy that they have is also very appealing.
Right. I think the audience enjoys that. It adds that excitement to their skating.
And the flow of this spin was actually better than many of the ones that we've seen so far. That's very admirable.
Very disappointing.
They just seem to get to a certain point and can't get beyond that. 3 times the bronze medalist at Europeans. At Worlds last year, they finished 8th. Sarah Abitbol and Stéphane Bernadis.
Now, they have wonderfully strong throw jumps. Look at the way he does this triple loop jump. However, right there, she is unable to sustain that landing. Remember, he's lifted her into the air, and then she drops down, and that's one heck of a long way to go. These side-by-side triple toe loops right there. Watch his his right hand, rather, as he almost reaches for the ice. Cannot sustain the landing.
We've seen them have great performances, but it's been tough for them to put a couple together. Sarah, 23 years of age. Stéphane, 25. Live and train in Paris.
5-1, 5-3.
And now there are marks here in the short program for required elements 4.7 to 5.3. You can tell their disappointment, the look on their faces. And for presentation, 5.3 to 5.6, but that's good enough to put them in 3rd place, right behind Shen and Zhao of China.
If they can hold that, that's all they need.
Back at the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The current standings here in the pairs short program: Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze of Russia in the lead, Shen and Zhao of China in 2nd, and Abitbol and Bernadis of France in 3rd place. But here are the 4-time Polish national champions, Dorota Zagórska and Mariusz Siudek. They won the silver medal at the European Championships this year. Last season, finished 5th at the World Championships.
And watch this opening double twist. Watch the delay. Very nice.
Where was the delay, Peggy?
Well, it was a short delay.
They certainly do have a bright red in that material with those costumes.
Sort of the neon, orangey red.
Where's the red, Dick?
Electric. It's on the ice. You can't see it on the television set because that changes the hue.
I see.
Besides, you're colorblind.
No pair from Poland has ever medaled at the World Championships. Zagórska and Siudek, the first to ever capture a silver medal at the Europeans earlier this year.
And this is a throw triple Salchow. Wonderful height. Nice control of the landing. Good speed. Stretch in some of those moves on that lift, more extension in the legs and pointed toes. They skated very well.
It's a pair that has very nice moves, very good athleticism. Everything is very good. It just doesn't sing. There's nothing in it that really makes them stand out that will raise them up above either Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze or Shen and Zhao or some of the other top pairs.
But certainly, Dick, room to be in the top 3 because Abitbol and Bernadis did not skate that well.
No, they're quite wonderful. You know, it's just that they don't sing out. And look at this, right here in this throw triple salchow. Now watch her crossed legs right there. That's very nice. Did you see how tight they were and how low down the cross was? And in this last lift, this lasso lift, watch him almost as though he's lassoing. Now watch her change feet. That's very tough and also difficult crossing over. And with this dropout, she can catch her feet at any time on his clothing, and that would not be good news.
I still hold my breath every time I see a move like that. You've got to have so much trust in your partner.
Well, I'll tell you something. I've seen some falls through the years, particularly the Jelenics, if you remember them from a couple of weeks ago at the European Championships, in which absolute disaster has happened.
A couple of years ago, yeah. 5.4 to 5.7 for required elements, and now for presentation, 5.3 up to 5.7, and that is good enough to put Zagórska and Siudek into third place ahead of Abitbol and Bernadis. Coming up next, Maria Petrova and Alexei Tikhonov, the surprise winners of the European Championships, skate when we come back. The current standings here on the pairs short program, the reigning world champions, Berezhnaya, Sikharulidze on top ahead of Shen and Zhao of China, then Zagórska and Siudek of Poland in third. The two American teams that have skated so far, the Hartsells and Handy and Binabos, round out the top 10. But here are the stunning upset winners of the European Championships this season. Maria Petrova and Alexei Tikhonov of Russia. They finished behind Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze at the Russian National Championships this season.
And you feel an emotional connection for this team right from the start. And their choice of music helps them too, from the soundtrack of Dr. Zhivago.
Well, that kind of mistake is not going to do them very well. It's a mandatory deduction right there that will pull them down.
And this their throw, triple salchow, back inside, edge takeoff. Very nice, easily done. She had plenty of time to prepare for that landing, which was very solid, good stretch.
They've only been skating together since July. Maria used to skate with Anton Sikharulidze, as a matter of fact. Together they were two-time junior world champions.
Well, their styles really blend very easily together. Seems like their timing and their ability for the technical side of jumps and things are pretty good. Watch this next lift. It's a tuck position. Watch her tuck and then spring out of this lift. Adds a little extra excitement. Very different. Well, they lacked that spark that I have seen them do in the past. They looked a little slow.
But remember, they've done this before and come back. At the Europeans this year, they were in 5th place after the short program and won. Of course, we should point out Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze had to withdraw because she was sick in Prague this season.
And this was their side-by-side triple toe loops, which he missed this jump. They're very straight, very nice position in the beginning. And up they go. She does the triple, and he fell out of his. And now the triple Salchow, the throw triple Salchow, the back inside edge, good lift, nice and tight in the air, nice control, good extension on that landing.
Required elements. 5-3, 5-0.
And now the marks for Petrova and Tikhonov of Russia.
5-5.
They won't be as high, obviously, as they had hoped coming in. Required elements, 5.0 to 5.5.
That's actually, I think, rather sad for them. They're rather depressing for them because they should not have made that mistake, and it was unfortunate.
And really had to feel like they had a chance coming in. Presentation 5.2 to 5.8, and they are now in 4th place.
Thank you.
Back in Helsinki, along with Peggy Fleming, Dick Button, and Leslie Visser, I'm Terry Gannon. Your top 3 here in the pairs short program. Berezhnaya, Sikharulidze, Shen and Zhao, and Zagórska, Siudek. And here are the 2-time and reigning Canadian national champions, Christy Sargent and Chris Schwarz.
The music, Violin Concerto, number 4 by Tchaikovsky.
Their opening move, side-by-side triple toe loops. Nicely done, a little far apart. Stretch in his spiral extension right there. This part's very pretty.
That was called mirror skating for obvious reasons.
The choreography went very well with the music.
Marina Zueva is the choreographer, a dancer with great renown. Lasso lift. Wonderful energy.
Now their throw triple Salchow.
Oh, good. I'm glad she faked that. They're such an appealing pair, aren't they?
Yes.
Beautifully matched in size and physical proportions. And look at how nicely she bends into that back death spiral. Not with any of the fannies sticking up in the air like we've seen on some of the others.
Well, they can be very proud of that performance. They skated very well.
Plenty of Canadian fans here, too. Kind of a North American section, right along with all the flags from the United States, the Maple Leafs. Christy Sargent and Chris Schwarz, twice the Canadian champions. They finished 7th in the world a year ago. Expecting good marks tonight.
Now look at how difficult and how clean these were. Side-by-side triple toes. Very nice. I mean, that was a difficult move. And in this throw, triple Salchow, watch the security of the takeoff edge. Watch him lift her into the air and open. And you always wonder whether they're going to land that, but she did, and very nicely.
Christy Sargent, one of 2 moms here in the pairs competition. Peggy Schwarz of Germany, the other one. Christy's daughter Tristan is 7 years of age.
5'5".
And their coach is Paul Wirtz.
5'4". 5'5".
Chris Wirtz's brother. They're lookalikes, aren't they?
You can't tell it all, can you?
5'4".
Expecting good marks. They're hoping to move into the top 3 now. For required elements, 5.1 to 5.5.
And
5'6".
they're not shabby marks at all.
5'6".
They're quite strong.
And for presentation, 5.2 to 5.7, not quite good enough. It puts Sargent and Wirtz into 4th place.
And that's excellent position.
When we come back, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman, led by the Russian coach Tamara Moskvina. More on the story of the U.S. silver medalist. Then they'll take the ice next in Helsinki. Welcome back to the World Figure Skating Championships presented by MasterCard. The pairs short program and the final pair set to go. The U.S. silver medalists, Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. Together only 8 months and a blend of experience and promise. Leslie Visser has more on this newly formed American team that is under Russian direction.
It is impossible to know the paths where fate will lead. 2 years ago at Nationals, Kyoko Ina stood atop the medal stand as John Zimmerman, the bronze medalist, looked on. Fast forward to last month when John and Kyoko, skating together, claimed the silver medal at Nationals. Their partnership comes as a result of her well-publicized breakup with Jason Dungeon. In yet another twist, they've solicited the help of a legendary Russian coach in the hopes that this will be the beginning. At the height of the Cold War, Tamara Moskvina won a silver medal for her country at Worlds. She has since coached her teams to 7 world championships in the last 2 decades. Ironically, she now lives in America and coaches an American pair, a fact that has brought criticism from the Russian press and authorities.
I answered them like this. For example, if you have your own child and you adopted another child from another country or from another family, will you treat that child differently than your own? No, you will treat them as your own child. Being in the country, using the facilities of the country, you can't be so possessive not to give something back.
And what a gift this diminutive woman has given to 2 Americans who needed balance in their skating.
You know, when I have my skates on, I'm about 6'3". I don't know what she is. She's maybe like 4'11",
or so.
4'10". So I'm like looking down at her, which means nothing, the height, because the way she looks at you, she's 10 feet tall no matter what.
Tamara has gazed upon 3 Olympic gold medals. If her current students could add their names to her legacy, well, that might be the ultimate irony.
When you think computers, you think Intel, Microsoft. And I think when you think pair skating or ice dancing, you think Russian. The Americans tend to be a little more show busy, and the Russians seem to be more classical. So if we can bring a little bit of showbiz into classical, we'll have a style that the Russians don't have either.
It would have seemed so odd a couple of years ago, but not in today's world. A top American pair learning from a Russian coach. Well, here's your top 3. Berezhnaya, Sikharulidze in the lead over Shen and Zhao of China. Then Zagórska and Siudek. The 2 other Americans, Hartsell and Hartsell, Handy and Vinnerbos in 12th and 13th place. As Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman step onto the ice.
Music, Don Quixote by Memphis.
Nice opening side-by-side triples.
Nice height on that. The mistakes they've had through this year, it's very nice to see this strong opening. This, a throw triple salchow.
Well, coming off a disappointing finish that we saw a couple of weeks ago at the Grand Prix final where they finished 5th. Stayed in St. Petersburg to train with Tamara Moscovina and Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze for that matter.
She is a very strong athlete with great technical skill. I'm surprised that she wasn't able to hold that landing.
But Kyoko has said that they both have very different timings from their former partners. They just need more time to get more in sync. They're a very handsome couple on the ice, very striking.
Side-by-side combination spins. Despite that fall, their performance seems infinitely more mature, more put together, and better coordinated now than it was even as late as a month ago.
But as I'm looking at them here in this arena, they look like they're moving a little bit slow and a little cautious.
Well, maybe that's all right, since they're working to get unison and security. That spin is really quite spectacular. And I notice a great deal more pleasure in her face. You know, even though there was that major mistake, this was a much better performance than I've seen them do over the last 3 major competitions, including the national championship and the recent international competition. I think that's an improvement. Yes, it was slow. Yes, it wasn't free and exciting. But yes, also, it was much better unison, much more of a pair skating. And that's a forward step forward for them. And look at these side-by-side now, triple toes. And watch the security there, particularly on his part. He's been the one that's been having trouble with technical merit, and he did that very well. Yeah, and isn't she happy? But on this throw triple Salchow, it was a surprise and a shock. A good takeoff, good strong revolution, and she is such a powerful girl, but she tripped on that landing. I don't know why that. I guess she didn't check it, and it caused that mistake.
5-1, 4-9, 5-0.
Their finish overall very important for the U.S. in trying to keep 2, perhaps 3 spots at next year's World Championships.
Remember, there's a mandatory 0.3 of a point deduction.
4.9 to 5.3 for required elements.
Well, I think that was probably very severe marking.
5-5.
And for presentation, 5.3 to 5.6. So Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman, that puts them in 8th place after their short program. So the standings heading into the free skate, the world champions back in top form. Berezhnaya and Sikharulidze over the red-hot Shen and Zhao of China. Zagórska and Siudek in 3rd. The top 3 control their own destiny. Remember that. Abitbol and Bernadis a disappointing 6th. Ina and Zimmerman 8th. Down the line to the 2 other Americans, the Hartsells and Handy and Binabos in 13th and 14th. Maybe tough for the U.S. to keep 3 spots at the Worlds next year. Leslie Visser is with the leaders now.
Terry, much stronger than we saw them a couple of weeks ago in St. Petersburg. Anton, why so much improvement in only a couple of weeks?
Because it's World Championships, you know. And in St. Petersburg, it was not really good skating. And here we must skating good because, you know, Orients and everybody waiting a good skating here on World Championships. And, you know, we must be strong.
Well, it looked like you were strong. You look so at ease, so confident. Were you?
Yes. I've learned much from that competition, and now I'm ready to go.
Well, it's true, as Anton says, this is when it counts. Good luck to you. Back to you, Terry.
All right, Leslie, I guess we have learned when the stakes are high, the world champions skate like the world champions. Elena Berezhnaya and Anton Sikharulidze of Russia. You can see them skate for their 2nd straight gold medal at the World Championships in the free skate tomorrow afternoon, beginning at 2:30 Eastern.